Namaste. Today the topic is why do we do a serpent worship and the scientificity behind the serpent worship and the Shastras and Ayurveda. Serpents are reptiles basically. They don't even have a brain and they are cold-blooded animals. And we are mammals. And if there is a relation, I think they should have a linkages of why and what it is. A lot of mythological theories and a lot of Siddha Purushas have explained this very detailedly. One of the Siddha Purusha is Pambati Siddhar. Pambati Siddhar is a person who is a Siddha saint, and he is a Siddha Purusha. He was in Coimbatore in the area called Mardamalai. He used to catch the snakes and then take the snake venom and then make medicine out of it. It's called Pashana, and then mostly it's from the snake venoms he invented medicines for the thing. One day, in search of snakes, he went for the Mardamalai, which is a shrine of Lord Muruga, and then there he got a darshan of another Siddha, and he said, "You should not search the serpent outside, you should search the serpent which is inside." And that made him to realize what it is, and then he did a penance, and then he had got Lord Muruga's darshan. This is again a story, but that reveals us a lot of information. If you look the part of why we have to worship the serpent energy is the energy which goes very fast, like the serpent, it circulates like this, it fast in the spindling manner. The same way, the Kundalini Shakti, the Kundalini is an important power which generates out of the yoga, and it starts from the Muladhara chakra and it penetrates and goes in the top. And we also worship Garuda. Garuda is the eagle, the other form of eagle, which has a white thing into it. And then we have Garuda Panchami. Garuda is said to be very important because of the concentration power. Even if it is very far in the sky flying out, it can concentrate the movements of even a small snake or even a small chick in the land, and then it comes and grab holds of it. The same way, when your Kundalini Shakti is generated from your Muladhara chakra, the Garuda, which is present in your brain, has to grab that and then keep your energy flow steady. That's the reason we call Mastishka. The head of a person is considered as a Garuda, where you have to hold the Shakti, and then the Kundalini starts from the down as a serpent. It comes up and it goes down suddenly when you don't have a concentration. Having said that, why it is very important in yoga and other things? When we say Nag Panchami, we add milk, we give milk and something offerings to the snake. Generally, snake is a power which is considered to be as asthiri ojas. That means in Ayurveda we have said about seven bodily tissues: rasa, rakta, mamsa, medas, asti, majja, and shukra, and then two ojas, which is an unsteady compound, which is asthiri bhavati. That means you have an ardhanjali pramana, which is a measurable amount of pramana of ojas, para ojas, and then apara ojas. Apara ojas is 8 drops, which moves around your body. Now, having said this, all these theories, how we are going to interrelate it? If you look at the photo of a Patanjali, who is a propounder of yoga, he has a human head and a snake body. That means the energy flow from Muladhara goes like a snake and then it goes to his head. So that's the reason why Patanjali was designed as a person of snake. And everybody where we concentrate and depict about the snakes indicates that the ojas, the upper ojas, which is asthiri, and then it has to be caught hold of, and then you should have a control on your body and senses. This is what it signifies. When we give milk, why we offer the milk? It doesn't mean you have to give milk for the snake. That means milk is one thing which is jivan yagana, which gives you something strength. So when your body is weak, you take the milk or you take something which is giving you more strength to develop your ojas, so that your energy becomes very active. This is what it signifies. Okay. And when you look into the Navagrahas, as I said, there is a lot of correlations which we use to derive this principle. In Navagrahas, we have got 9 devatas, which corresponds to 7 planetary motions, and then 2 Chaya Graha, that is Ragu and Ketu. When you look at the thing again, Rahu and Ketu. Again, they depicted the Astiri Bhavati Ojas. That means Rahu with a serpent head and Ketu with a serpent body. Again, the same concept has been placed there. That means these two planetary portions are unstable because they keep on moving from one place to another. They keep on circulating from your body. That's the reason why it has been depicted. And there is also a thing like whenever we have any serpent thing, we all ask people to go for Shiva Shuddha, that is Kartikeya, Subramanya Puja. Why it does significance? Because Subramanya is a person which has the control. When you start doing the Shiva, there is also said Jwaram Vishnu Kritam Siva Shiva Shuddha. When you go correlate to the Kushta Chikitsa, in Kushta Chikitsa, in Ashtanga Hridayam, then they say finally in the Shvidram, if they say if there is no relief, then you have to start praying for Shiva Shuddha. That means Subramanya, which is an indication that you have to concentrate more on Ojo chikitsa to develop your ojas and develop the energy levels, and then so the entire system gets active. Because basically when we look into the skin disease is mostly an implication of the vitiation of rasa and rakta disorder, and when it is pervasive it moves all over the body like a serpent. So that's why we call Visarpa. We have a disease called Visarpa. Sarpa means spreading fast like a snake. Visarpa, which spreads very fast like a snake. So to have the control of it, then you have to correct it from the ojas level. So and then you have to control from the blood level. That's why it has been explained. So even we in our religious system, we also have an worship of worshipping the snake, which is a single standard snake and a double standard snake. The single standard snake, when you look into it, we people say when you go and roll around for any, when you have an infertility, they ask them to go and do the worship, and which is kept under the Ashwatha tree. Ashwatha is a pupil tree, Ficus religiosa, the pupil tree. Under the pupil tree they keep it. The reason for keeping that is, if you look at the DNA structure, the helical structure of DNA, and the double stranded snakes which look alike, and the single strand which indicates that the RNA and the biological correction. So there was a genome theory which has been explained. When you revolve around there and then do puja for 48 days or something like that, you get a lot of oxygenation, which again makes a lot of cell related changes in your body, which helps for conception naturally. This is how the concepts have been explained. So though those days they have explained, because the explanation was more given on the correction of the genetic sequence, because in Acharya, the Vagbhata mentions that Vishena eva Vishakrimehe. When he explains about the qualities of Shukra and Artava, he says Vishena eva Vishakrimehe. If your semen or the ovum is infected, or if it is deformed, then you also get to give a progeny which is again with a lot of deformities. That's why Vishena eva Vishakrimehe. So there is a lot of genomic concepts which have been explained here. So considering all the genetical factors and other things, if we look into the serpent as a real Kundalini Shakti, to provoke your Kundalini, we have to do the serpent worship and then provoke your Kundalini. I think people will have a lot of knowledge and wellness on the health, as well as the tradition, as well as the science, as well as the religion. Try to correlate the religious things with the scientific aspect to get the better scientific knowledge out of it. Namaste. Thank you all.